Welcome back, class. This is the last lecture of inorganic chemistry, and after that, we will complete the syllabus of inorganic chemistry for the second sem BSc B.Ed. And I have received some of the comment that Dheeraj asked that boron hydride property, the diboron property, discuss. We want to discuss the diboron properties, so I'm looking to some more comments, some more queries. If I get the enough, then I will prepare a video for that complete. Okay, because diboron properties are very shorter, so it's a very shorter video. And if I received one or two more comment, so then I will prepare definitely for that. Okay, so if you find that after this still, if you find that is there any need of other topic to discuss, please let me inform. I will discuss that, or whatever question I have given to you during my videos, you have to answer that all. And if you found any doubt, then I will prepare a video for that question answer also. But this is the last lecture. Until or unless if you're not asking any doubt or any question or any topic to discuss, this is the end of syllabus from my side. Okay, so interhalogen compound is the last topic of your syllabus. So what is the interhalogen compound? Interhalogen compounds, the compound containing two or more halogen atom. If a compound containing two or more halogen atom, then it is called interhalogen compound. The general formula is xn. This is dash. X is the halogen, x dash is another halogen. So what is different between this x and x dash? So x is the halogen of larger size. This is the larger size halogen. Okay, and x dash is the smaller size halogen. This is the difference. X is the larger size and x dash is the smaller size. So larger size halogen is x and the smaller size halogen is x dash. So the larger size halogen will be more electronegative, and this will be the less electronegative. The nomenclature, that is also again very important, because we have two halogens, so how we will nomenclate them. The nomenclature, so one is the more electronegative and other one will be the less electronegative. The positive, although both have the electronegative elements, but positive oxidation number, that means I'm talking about the lesser oxidation, lesser electronegative. No, this positive means the lesser one will pronounce as same, whereas the negative one, that means the more electronegative, will pronounce as halide. So let's take an example of CLF. So in this case, as we know that fluorine is the more electronegative compared to chlorine, so this we will consider as a negative oxidation number, and this will is a positive one, because If we calculate the oxidation number of this chlorine compared to this fluorine, this is -1 and this is -1. But in this case, if if you go for the oxidation of chlorine, this will be plus. Okay, so it is has a positive oxidation number. Got it? So the name will be chlorine fluoride. Name is chlorine fluoride. See, there is no need to remember actually, because every time whenever you are giving the name to particular compound, the same IUPAC nomenclature is follow. For example, if you take the example of sodium chloride, here this is in positive and this is the negative. So the negative, the higher the negative oxidant state is always considered as a its chloride. It is called sodium chloride. Okay, so this is how this chlorine fluoride. Similarly, if we have IF7, so what is the name of this compound? Here fluorine is the most electron, so it is iodine, and 7 fluorine, so it is hepta. It is hepta fluoride. So this is how you need to give the nomenclature of various interhalogen compounds. Now the very important, that is the types of interhalogen compound. Types. So the first is neutral interhalogen. Neutral interhalogen. That means it has no charge. So this is again different types, like X, X dash, then X, X3 dash, then X, X5 dash, and then X, X7 dash. So based on different oxidation state. Here are some example of XX dash: CLF, BRF, BRCL, ICL, IBR, and this I'm writing IF. This is highly unstable. Okay, point to be remember, this is highly unstable. Similarly, in case of XX3 dash, CLF3, BRF3, ICL3, and again IF3. This is unstable. We can take another example of XX5. So CLF5, BRF5, IF5, and IF7 in this case. So only IF7 is formed for iodine. So this is the first type of interhalogen compound. Then moving for the second one, that is called the interhalogen anion and cation. This is called ionic interhalogen. Ionic interhalogen, that means which contain either cation or anion. So again it has a different type, whether it can be a cation or it can be an anion. So type and some examples also. So this is XX2, XX4, and XX-6, XX-2, XX-4, and 6. Examples, if we're talking, there are n number of examples of cation and anion both. ICl2 negative, IBr2 negative, then ClF2 positive. For XX4 type, ICl4 negative, BRF4 negative, BRF4 positive also. Then for XX6 type, IF6 negative, BRF6 positive also, BRF6 negative. There are n number of, I'm writing only few, but there are n number of example. So this is the types of interhalogen compounds: neutral interhalogen and ionic interhalogen. It can be both cation or anion. And the nomenclature, this nomenclature is based on the IUPAC nomenclature, just like other. The positive one is the same name, and the negative one will be halide. It can be chloride, bromide, or iodide. Okay, and now we will discuss the structure. So the structure is again very simple. I will draw the structure of few of them. Okay, so the structure of interhalogen compounds. Let's start the very first. Let's take example of ClF3. I'm randomly taking the example. You can take any one. So again, the same formula. Total valence electron 7 for chlorine and 7 for fluorine also. This will give 28 electron. Okay, now what will happen in this case? In this case, we have chlorine will be in central atom because chlorine is the electropositive compared to fluorine. Then we'll go for the 3 fluorine. This is the 3 fluorine. I'm not talking about the actual structure. I'm just giving this some hint to you. And if we go for the oxidation state here, so here 1 2 3 we required 4 more electrons, so that are nothing but the lone pair. One lone pair is this and one lone pair is this. Okay, so this is an example of tetra bipyramidal geometry because it belongs to the category of coordination number 5. Coordination number 5 has different arrangement like AX5 and AX4E and AX3E2, then AX2E3. This all belongs to the coordinate number 5. A is central atom. Okay, this I had already discussed in the classroom. This I had already discussed in A is the central atom, X is the ligand, and E is the lone pair. Okay, so based on this condition 5, this is trigonal bipyramidal geometry. TBP I am writing trigonal bipyramidal. This is seesaw kind of a structure. The structure, the geometry is TBP. Okay, this AX2 is 3 is T shape, and this is linear. So as you can see this example here, we have to skip the lone pair. Okay, so if you remove the lone pair, the shape will look like T shape. So this molecule is of T shape structure, and it belongs to the trigonal bipyramidal geometry. So this is how you have to draw the structure. We'll take another example, and this is very important example. This example is asking so many examination. That is the I3 negative. So the total valence electron for this case will be 7 into 3 plus 1. I'm taking the negative charge. That means I'm taking the ionic interhalogen. That is the 22 electron. Okay. So we'll draw the structure of 22 electron. I is in central atom, then another I, and then another I. Okay, then again we have two. This is completed with the two, so we required five. One two, so we required five more. Okay, so one lone pair, then another lone pair, and this is the another lone pair. In this case, we have three lone pair in this iodine and three lone pair to this one and three lone pair to this. So total we have bond pair 2, that means 4 electron, and lone pair is 6 6 6 18, that means the 22. So the structure is correct. But if you go for the this is again belongs to which family member? This coordination number 5, because it belongs to what? A X. A is the central atom, X is the ligand, and 2, so AX2, and 3 lone pair is there, so AX2E3. So just check it, AX2E3 belongs to linear. So the structure of this compound is linear, the shape is linear, and trigonal biprotonite is again the geometry. And again linear how? If you remove this lone pair and if you remove this lone pair, this will look like a linear. Okay, so this is how you need to identify the structure. Let's take one more example of IF5. Okay, so IF5 I'm taking total valence electron in this case 7, then 7 into 5, that is equals to 42 electron. Okay, so let's draw the structure. IF5, that means iodine with one fluorine here, one fluorine is here, one fluorine, another fluorine, and this is the another one. Okay, then we can this. So let's calculate the for iodine. 1 2 3 4 and 5, so we required one more. So this is the lone pair. Okay, so what will happen here? This belongs to coordination number 6, which has octahedral shape. The geometry is octahedral, and AX6 is octahedral. Okay, then AX5E, this is square planar, sorry, pyramidal, square pyramidal. This is not planar, pyramidal. And AX4E2, this is square planar. So these three types available in this coordination number. So this belongs to AX5E, this one, and this is the example of square pyramidal. So this is a coordination number 6, which of octahedral geometry, but the structure is square pyramidal. So this is how you need to complete this structure. I will take one more and the last one. So we'll take the last one, that is the ICl4 negative. So we'll take this one. This is the last example. Total valence electron 7 plus 7 into 4 plus 1. This is total valence electron is 36 in this case. Let's draw the structure quickly. One Cl, then the second Cl, then the third one. Okay, then we We'll complete the octet. So 1 2 3 4 we required iodine. For iodine we required 5 6 and 7 8. So the negative charge you can easily understand. Here this iodine contain one extra electron. Okay, iodine 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and it has 7 electrons. So this negative charge is balanced by this one. Similarly in this case also, I3, this contain 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So this negative charge is balanced by this, like this. Okay, so this is the example of which it is example of AX4E2, like this, AX4E2. So it is the square planar. So this is how you have to complete the structure of different. You can take any structure and go for that. So this is the all about from my side for the halogens and for the p block elements and of your syllabus. The organic syllabus is complete here now. This is the question. BRF5, IF7 and BRF3 give the hybridization and structure. So this is the question for you. Go for it. Very simple. Hybridization, if you go for the hybridization, 1 2 3 4 5 belongs to sp3d. 1 2 3 4 5 sp3d, 5 coordination number. 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. So this will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 sp3d2. So this is how you need to find the hybridization. This is the question for you. Complete it. Thank you so much.